Hello and welcome. If you ever wanted to travel to Alaska on a land tour or a sea cruise, these videos are for you. We'll show you some of the highlights of our 2-week Princess Tour. We started the land portion in Fairbanks and we ended the cruise portion in Vancouver. We'll offer some suggestions that'll make your trip more enjoyable. And we'll show you one event that changed forever the way we think about hotel stays. So let's get started. Here's tip number 1. If you can, go early. It's a long way to Alaska, and going a day or two early before your tour starts gives you a chance to get used to the local time and to recover from travel fatigue. We went a day early, and we're calling it Day 0.
It was dark when we left Seattle at 9:30 in the evening, but the closer we got to Fairbanks, the lighter it got. After a few hours sleep, we picked up a rental car and began to explore Fairbanks. First stop, breakfast, where we saw this rare 49-star United States flag. Then on to North Pole, Alaska. You can see Santa and then send yourself a letter with the North Pole postmark. A few miles away is this section of the Alaska pipeline that's above ground. And after lunch, we went to the Fountainhead Antique Auto Museum. In the evening, we gathered at the hotel patio for some drinks and relaxation. There was the delicious smell of someone barbecuing nearby. Except it wasn't a barbecue. The hotel kitchen was on fire. The hotel was evacuated, and all the guests were moved to the parking lot. We never got back in our room. The fire marshal closed the hotel. We were taken to a staging area for a few hours, given food, drinks, blankets, and then taken to rooms at a different hotel in the area. Princess did a great job of finding over 350 rooms at 9 o'clock in the evening.
We don't have a lot we can show you about day 1. All our camera gear was stuck in the hotel room. So were our wallets, passports, cell phones, cell phone chargers, medicines, things like that. All we had on us for the first day was whatever we had with us on the patio the evening before.
Day 1 of our land tour began with us boarding the riverboat Discovery at the same place we had been just a few hours earlier. We cruised the Cheena River and enjoyed the scenery. A bald eagle flew alongside the boat for a while. We saw Susan Butcher's sled dogs run and then swim in the river. We saw a float plane take off and land in an incredibly short distance. We stopped and toured an Athabascan village. We returned to the dock for a delicious lunch. In the afternoon, the tour took us to Gold Dredge 8, and on the way, it stopped at that pipeline again. Then we boarded a train that took us past the gold dredge and into the mining camp. We had a chance to pan for gold. This is what we got. We left the mining camp for the return trip to our hotels. And when we got there, some of us had some luggage. On day 2, we boarded a bus and headed south towards the Denali Princess Hotel in Denali State Park. We saw a couple moose along the way. check out this old truck that was at the rest stop. Once we checked into our rooms at the Denali Princess Lodge, we went in search of the famous Grizzly burger, which we enjoyed on the deck beside the river. We explored the lodge and its surroundings in anticipation of our Tundra trip the next day. On day 3, we boarded these buses for our Tundra trip into Denali. It's a spectacular trip into the park. If anyone spots wildlife, the driver will stop the bus. We saw this moose right away. From the top of Polychrome Pass, you'll get an eagle's eye view of the valley. And if the weather is favorable, from the turnaround area, you'll get a view of Denali. This grizzly walked beside the bus for a while, then crossed in front of it and headed for those trees in the distance. But those weren't trees. It was a group of hikers. The hikers saw the bear, and the bear saw the hikers, and it all worked out in the end. In the evening, we went to the Gold Nugget Saloon near the lodge for dinner and a show. Day 4 found us back on the bus, heading for the Mount McKinley Prince's Wilderness Lodge. In clear weather, you can see Denali from this lodge, but it was cloudy on this day. If you want, the lodge staff will contact you when the mountain becomes visible. We spent the day exploring the lodge and the treehouse that's up the hill. On the morning of day 5, we got the call. The mountain was out. Everyone went to the main lodge to take a look. While there, a moose came out of the woods and walked by the lodge. Then we went for a day trip to the village of Talkeetna. This is one excursion you don't want to miss. We had a great breakfast with huge portions here. We visited the ranger station. All climbers on Denali start here. We had fireweed ice cream and checked out the town. The local brewery makes a beer named after this creek, Twister Creek IPA. It was an enjoyable day in a small Alaska town. On day 6, we boarded a train for the trip south to Whittier, where we would meet our cruise ship. We had a chance to relax and enjoy the scenery. And yes, we saw some more moose. That's our ship in the distance, the Coral Princess. Our land tour was completed, but our cruise tour was just about to begin. That part, from Whittier to Vancouver, is covered in a separate video. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, why not subscribe?